look how horrible this thing was. It was literally corroded all the way around. And what's crazy, it's looking so nice. Gonna stop that belt from sucking past the Mickey Mouse ear coolant flange. And as soon as I pulled the old one out,
perfect.
if you're new here, welcome to the AutoLust YouTube channel. If you're already an AutoLust family member, what's swinging, gang? And yes, it's time. We finna bulletproof this cooling system. Never overheat again. Whew, let's get it. So if you remember on the last video, I showed you a bunch of parts that will bulletproof this car reliability wise. Right here. Links for that video will be down in the description, but we're gonna take a big chunk of those parts and slap them right on this engine. Take that unreliability. We finna make this thing here go 1,000,000 miles. These engines are already known for going 400,000+ miles. If you didn't know, well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
A few moments later.
All right, she up in the air, and so far the belt is off. There's the new belt. The balancer is off. I haven't uninstalled the pump yet, but you can see it here. Like I told you on the last video, it was all like calcified and all that bullshit. That's about how bad it looks. But I have taken the balancer off. Let me get in here right there. You can see here the balancer is missing, so I'm gonna put that belt catch on, and you take these two screws out right here on the bottom side, and then you put the new two screws in that come with the belt catch. And it's some E10s for the balancer, 8 E10s to get the balancer off. I'm gonna show you what all I had to take off on the top of the engine to access this stuff once I drop the car back down to do the Mickey Mouse flange and the thermostat. All right, as you can see, I have the belt catch in. Ooh, it's looking so nice. Gonna stop that belt from sucking past the front seal. And I also have the water pump loose. It's not unhooked, but I have it unbolted. I still gotta take the hose off the front and take the unplug the connector. This top bolt is best to get to from the top, gang, because boy, you're not gonna get it from the bottom unless you take the front wheel off and use the extension that's long enough to shoot up in there. But that's not worth doing if you can just do it from the top with a pretty much like this, with a little swivel. Yeah, so I got that loose. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out now. But the stuff you have to take loose is pretty much those two bars right there, which connect from here down to somewhere up here. And this right here, well, it connects to this, the bars. So you have to take this piece off and those two bars to gain access to the fan. And the fan is only held in by one bolt that actually sits in here right there. And once you get that T30 out, the fan just slides right out. You just have to lift this tab up, and there's two push tabs on either side, this side and that side. And once those push tabs are pushed back, the fan will slide right out. And yeah, obviously you got to unplug the fan. So yeah, let me get this water pump out so we can get the new one in. Then I'm gonna do the Mickey Mouse ears right here and the thermostat. All right, water pump is out. That's the old boy here. Look how horrible this thing was. It was literally corroded all the way around. And what's crazy is, like, it wasn't leaking. Like, look, that undershield is dry as a bone. So I want, like, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. So I guess it was just like staying just wet around the pump. But look at that new pump, man. Like, that's big upgrade there, man. Hold on, let me flip it the right way. Boom. Big upgrade. Nowhere to leak from. All aluminum, upgraded electronics. There's the impeller in there, impeller in there. Man, this thing gonna be crazy. Let's get this thing on. I can get the balancer back on too, since I have the belt catch already on there. But before I put the pump back in, I'm gonna go ahead and swap the thermostat and swap this Mickey Mouse ear thing right here, since the coolant is all drained out. The thermostat is easy. You just unplug the hoses and stuff and unbolt it. But I'm thinking about painting this bracket too, so I might just go ahead and paint that bracket while it's out. All right, the thermostat is out, and as you can see, they're identical in size and shape, except this one has a 10-degree cooler open time than the factory one. Like I told you, this factory one wasn't bad, so I'm going to keep it and use it as a backup just in case something happens to the new one. And also, I swapped out the billet Mickey Mouse ear coolant flange, and soon as I pulled the old one out, like I knew what was going to happen, you see there, it broke right off. So if you can change this out, definitely change it out. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. That's crazy. And I pulled the bracket that holds the thermostat that goes here. I pulled it out because it's silver and it'll look a lot better, you know, painted black. So I painted it black and waiting for it to dry. Then I'm going to slap that back in. But while I'm, you know, waiting on that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and install the new pump and put the balancer back on so we can start buttoning this thing up and filling it up with fluid. All right, I got the new water pump in. It went in a hell of a lot easier than it came out, but you see it's all plugged in and looks a lot better than that other one. And we got the balancer back on. So the last thing I got to do now is the bracket should be dry enough to put back on, but I'm gonna hold on, let me flip this camera around. Camera not even playing along with me. There we go. Just gotta put this thermostat in, and really that's about it. Fire up, see what the new, and fill it up and put the new belt on. The has a versus the Kevlar belt versus the regular belt. Look the same, except this one red and this one has Kevlar fiber instead of the aramid fiber or whatever come in the factory belt. So yeah, let's get this stuff put on, because you see it's getting late. When it's a one-man show, it's definitely not an easy job. Not doing all this in one day, definitely. As you can see, the new red belt ECS tuning is on there. We did the belt catch, upgraded the filter housing, new water pump, new thermostat. You can't really see the water pump, it's pretty far down there, but you can see the thermostat. And I painted the thermostat bracket, but end up scratching it up right there. So I'm gonna just spot paint that, but it looks a lot better. And I'm gonna paint this one black once we do part 2. Think it sound good. I hope, anyways. I won't know until I'm on the highway and calling Omar, man, bro, please come pick me up.
I'm not coming to pick your ass, so you gotta call a tow truck.
Hey, check that belt out. Look pretty good in there too.
That's an extra 50 horsepower, that red belt.
That's 50 extra horsepower right there on the red belt. All right, the pump is working. As you can see, it's spitting out. That's the pump kicking on. So everything definitely working good. The thermostat is working. You see the belt? I think I'm gonna get a new tensioner because it's kind of like shaking a little bit. Shaking baby syndrome.
The next day.
Alright, gang, it's literally the next day, and I ain't even gonna hold you. And as you can see, my beautifully painted thermostat bracket is ruined now, so I'm gonna pull that back up. Not pull it out, but pull it up and, like, you know, zip tie it off somewhere and just get it powder coated or something. And like, as good as this belt looks on there, it is extremely noisy, you know. And I don't know if it's noisy because I might need another tensioner pulley, because if the tensioner pulley is weak and you, like, you know, hold it up maximum tension to take the belt off in a little service mode, then when you drop it back, I heard it's just gonna go all the way bad. So I bought a new tensioner pulley as well. And this hose here, I bought this coolant hose, because when it starts to turn brown like that, as you can see, it's brown versus dark black like it's supposed to be. This one is turning a little brown too, so I might need to replace that one soon. That's when it's time to replace them. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see under there or not, but no, it's not really visible, but you'll see when I pop it off, it has a small little leak on this one. So maybe that's why I wasn't seeing a leak, because it was dripping down like on the radiator side and, you know, going down where usually the AC usually drains or something like that. Who knows? But I wasn't seeing it until we pulled all this stuff out and seen it. But yeah, other than that, you know, it dries perfectly fine. The belt has quieted down a little bit, you know, like, I mean, I guess you gotta let it break in because it's a brand new belt, you know, like wear in pretty good, but a couple of more miles of driving and it should be fine. But as in temperature wise, honestly, you know, with the on this car versus Sasha, you know, when I put the low temp thermostat in Sasha, I mean, it was a dramatic, you know, because her thermostat and water pump and stuff is mechanical. You know, this thermostat and water pump is fully electric. So, I mean, you only gonna get away with so much. I'm sure it's some type of cooling help going on, but who knows exactly how much is going on. So, but yeah, this is just the part one of the installs. For this next install, I'll be doing transmission, oil pan, and a bunch of other little odds and ends. And I'll say it looks pretty good with the belt and the oil filter cap, billet oil filter cap. You know, I love having a fully aluminum water pump on this thing, you know, versus that plastic one. You seen how nasty that was. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. If you want to do these bulletproof mods, you know, look out for the things that I just said. You know, at the end of the day, these things that I did to this car is for mainly 100% reliability to get this thing close to the 1 million mile mark. So like, share, and subscribe, and Auto Lust out.